Hey there, welcome to this week's episode of Next Level Play Therapy. And today I want to talk about some things that I hear all the time in the play therapy community, especially when I'm talking to people in trainings and talking to people about the programs that I have available. And the things that I keep hearing are not sure what to do in play therapy sessions, not sure how to help clients, especially when you get the challenging ones. So you spend endless hours online or searching through um, your folders on your computer to find just the perfect activity. So you feel like you're constantly searching, you're filling up all your Pinterest boards, you're in Etsy, you're checking out your Amazon and filling up your cart, putting things in your wish list because it starts to add up cost-wise. And or searching online for free activity ideas. But the thing is, you still end up feeling unsure, second guessing yourself, not sure what to do in your sessions or how to make sense of what's going on. And then you start to feel a little bit deflated and wonder if you've chosen the right profession, or you don't get sleep because you're up all night thinking about that frustrating case that you're experiencing, and you just can't seem to figure out how to navigate through it. Or maybe you kind of secretly start wishing you had chosen another profession. Here's the thing, I get it. I have been there. This is a hard profession. We hold hard things. And the other part of it is, oftentimes play therapists, you're the only one in your agency, or you're the only one in your private, maybe you're in private practice. And so, or maybe you're working towards your licensure or certification, and your community or your supervisor or your clinical director is really more of an adult therapist, and they provide great information about working with adults. When it comes to working with kids, they kind of give you a compassionate look and just say, I don't work with kids, or, you know what, I know you'll do the right thing and you've got this, without really providing any kind of tangible or um, tangible suggestions, or really developmentally sound ways of working with kids, because they don't know how to use play therapy. So oftentimes I find play therapists are feeling pretty isolated and alone, because there aren't others around to kind of help you through those challenging parts. And so today I want to talk about some of the hidden reasons why you might be feeling stuck, why collecting more activities really isn't the answer, and maybe shifting your perspective on some things about how you might go about getting those breakthroughs that you're looking for your clients. So that's what we're talking about today. And if you're watching on the live stream, I would love to know who's here today. If you're watching on Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn on the live episode, post your name in the comments. Where are you from? What population do you work with? What do you have a favorite play therapy modality? Post all of those in the comments. If you're watching the replay, I would still love to know who's here. Post your name in the comments. Where are you working? What population do you work with? And what is your favorite play therapy activity? For those of you who are listening on the podcast, feel free to pop over to my Instagram channel. And those of you on Instagram, feel free to post in the comments or send me a message. So my Instagram is at Renewing Hearts Training. So let's get started for today. But if you find, let me just say my thing, if you find this information helpful, please feel free to share it with your colleagues, kind of share the love, help them get connected. And let's get started for today. All righty. So I am glad that you guys are here today. And I want to talk about something that I hear a lot. And I think it's really important because I think it's causing a lot of stress for play therapists. I know for me, I struggled a lot, especially in the beginning. And then even when I was a little more seasoned, there were still things that I struggled with because this is a hard profession. We have that therapeutic use of self, which means we're fully present, professionally present in the session, providing support, compassion, empathy, and understanding. So it can be draining all day long. And then when you experience some challenging clients, excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. It's can be even more frustrating. And so a lot of times you may go through trying to find some resources online or maybe purchase another book that has some play therapy activities just to give you some fresh ideas or maybe help figure out that one activity that's going to help you get that breakthrough that you're looking for. And I get it because we're carrying a lot. You have a full caseload. You have to get those progress notes done. And then on top of that, you've got your personal life. Maybe you have young kids at home, or maybe you're just getting started and you're wanting to make that difference in the lives of children that got you into this profession in the first place. And so I get it, and I've been there. We all need something to help us get the breakthrough that we're looking for. But here's the thing that I've discovered after decades of being in the child and mental health field and learning how to use play therapy. If collecting activities was the answer, then everybody, and including you, would be getting those breakthroughs now, as long as you have access to the internet and you have money to buy those books or go to those trainings. And so if that was the case, you still wouldn't be second guessing yourself. And so that can be challenging. Sorry, I got a little lost in my thoughts. Like I was in my head thinking about some other things while simultaneously trying to talk. It doesn't really work. So here's the thing. The thing to think about is maybe there's another way of thinking about this that you hadn't really thought about. And I think it's something that we don't talk about a lot in the play therapy community. Because here's the thing, if collecting play therapy activities or going and finding all those free resources online was the answer, then you wouldn't be second guessing yourself. It's kind of like going through cookbooks or online. Like, I don't know about you. Online, I get these, I don't know, they have these Mediterranean recipes that pop up in my Instagram folder. And I don't like cooking, but these recipes pop up and they have these pictures. And I just have created this folder. I take all these screenshots of the recipes because I don't know that I'll find them later, or I'll put them in a folder that I never look at. I have all these recipes for these delicious looking Mediterranean recipes. And I never use them, and I still don't know how to do half of the things that they're talking about, or there's kind of an art to it to make sure it never turns out the same way when I try things. So if collecting play therapy activities was the thing, it would be like me collecting all those recipes thinking it was going to make me this great chef, or I'd be able to make these amazing meals. Every once in a while, I crank out a good meal. But for the most part, I still feel lost and confused in the kitchen. I regularly have to ask my husband, what does this mean? How do I do this? And then if I have to juggle more than one thing at a time, man, I am totally lost. And I start hating it because I don't really have anybody to kind of help me figure it out. I asked my husband for help, but it's not like he's in there with me showing me how to do it along the way. So here's the thing, and to kind of highlight this point that I'm making. So here are some examples. I have a new membership that I'm launching, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So some of you may have heard me talk about Play Therapy Academy. That's kind of like my higher level, really hands-on play therapy program to teach people how to use play therapy, especially if you're wanting to pursue your registered play therapy credential. Play Therapy Academy would be the place. But what I found is not everybody needs that high level of contact or that high level of mentoring and hands-on consultation. Sometimes people are really looking for a community, and they want the consultation, they want support. They're tired of doing it alone. They're tired of feeling lost and like they're the only one in their community or their agency or their practice that uses play therapy, and they don't know who to go to, or they get some tips here and there, but it's not enough. So that's why I created Play Therapy Elevation Circle, because maybe some of you live outside of the United States and you just don't have access to a community of support that can help you use play therapy. So that's why I created Elevation Circle, to allow more access to a community of support where you can get some feedback, you can get some fresh ideas, learn how to apply those play therapy strategies. And so that's what we did in one of our recent Play Therapy Elevation Circle consultation meetings. So we were meeting with a member who was really struggling with a really challenging client. This was a real hard client situation. And she was the only one in her agency that works for kids, so works with kids. So she doesn't really have access. And so what we discovered as we were going through and talking about what the symptoms were, identifying some of those patterns and maybe some of the roots of the problem, then we could really figure out what the client needed and where things were getting stuck, because it was a really challenging case. And so what we figured out was, one, your play therapy model really matters. Like, you really need to learn a play therapy model. But to learn a play therapy model, you really do need somebody walking along beside you, helping you know how to apply the skills. And you can't just get that from podcasts or YouTube lives or free resources or play therapy books or trainings. There's an aspect of the work that we do. Sorry, my dog is Luna. My dog is moaning around on the ground. She's in the office now. Luna is now in the office. We definitely need those things. So I don't want to give the impression that that the play therapy books, the trainings, the free resources, all of those are good things. And they're not going to help you learn to see what's going on in the session with your specific client, or how are you doing with that play therapy model, or maybe some tips of some strategies that will work for your play therapy model. And so we use our play therapy consultation meeting in this case because she had a bunch of books, she had a bunch of resources, and her plan was to go and look through those. But the problem was she already had them, and it was a lot like the recipes of, well, I have all the recipes, I just don't know. I need some little help knowing how to actually do it from somebody who's been there and who understands play therapy. And so to me, that as part of that community, then you have other people who understand play therapy to help you figure out what's going on. You can have access to resources of other people in the community. And so to me, that's the thing that we don't really talk about in the play therapy community. We don't really talk about that having a community is not just a luxury. Like, we think to ourselves, oh, I don't want to really, do I really need to pay for that community support? I can just go on YouTube and get some ideas. It's not the same. It's not the same. I see this all the time. I see this in Play Therapy Academy. And now that I've launched Elevation Circle, I see it in Play Therapy Elevation Circle. I saw it in our July meeting where we were talking about a challenging case, and other members in the consultation meeting had expertise to share, and they had clients on their caseload that were experiencing similar things, so they were able to provide more insights, and we can take a step back and look at it from different angles. And you have other people kind of walking you through and sharing that. And that's not, that level of hands-on is not really something you can get from free resources and books online. And I would even propose, and I do play therapy trainings. I love doing trainings. I think trainings are important. I think we all need to take trainings. The thing is, once you leave the training, who's helping you to apply the skills that you just learned in the training? Because you're going to take that knowledge, and your client is going to walk into the session. You're going to look, and they're going to start doing things. And in your head, you're going to start thinking, I don't know what to do. Or what did we talk about in that training? How do I apply that here? So all of those things are good things. The thing that's missing, the missing ingredient, I think, is having a play therapy community. And having a play therapy community means that you have access to like-minded people, meaning they get play therapy. You don't have to explain play therapy to them so that they can know how to support you. These are people who already understand play therapy. Even new people, those of you who are brand new to play therapy, you know more than you think you do. The seasoned people, we also need support. Like, I get ideas all the time from these communities, from Elevation Circle, now that I've started that one, and also Play Therapy Academy. I get ideas there as well that I'll use in with my clients. So I feel like it doesn't matter if you're new to play therapy or really, really seasoned. Having a community of support helps you work through challenges, and it's a non-judgment zone. I feel like in our communities, in Play Therapy Academy, as well as Elevation Circle, There is no judgment. It is a judgment-free zone. And because it's a place where we feel like we can be honest about our struggles without fearing judge, then you find out you're not the only one. You're not the only one struggling with that issue, which that in and of itself is on its way to reducing burnout. And you get feedback from new people who have great ideas and great insights, as well as seasoned play therapists, so that you can figure out how to get those breakthroughs that you're looking for. And you learn from other people's experiences. I feel like to me, this is one of the most powerful things about being in a supportive play therapy community, where you can talk about your your challenging cases, get feedback, get support, is that even if you're not the one who's talking about your client, you're learning. You're learning from that situation and can think about how to apply that in your circumstances. And you really learn how to lean in and trust your clinical intuition, trust your clinical judgment. That's especially true if you're new to the profession. And I feel like even as a seasoned play therapist, I might clinically know something's off, but I might not necessarily, because I'm in it, I'm too far in it. I might not necessarily have that big picture ability to step back and look at it from a different way. And so even as a seasoned play therapist, having others to give me ideas or new ways of thinking about things can be very, very helpful to get those breakthroughs for our clients. And so to me, that's the missing ingredient. That's the thing that we don't talk a lot about, having a community of support. All the other things are good things, but no amount of collecting recipes is going to make you a great chef unless you have a community of other chefs around you who know how to do what you're doing and can provide that support to actually apply those skills. Like, I see this all the time. My husband and I watch the cooking shows. I think we were just watching MasterChef the other day. And here's what happens. You have people who know how to cook, right? They're in MasterChef. They have some skills. They've got all their favorite recipes, right? But you add different dynamics in there and something always goes wrong. And having those mentors to help you figure it out, or have that community of support to help you figure it out, to me, is what is the difference between doing an okay job and doing an amazing job as a play therapist to get the best results possible for your clients. And so that is it for today. Let me just kind of recap what we've gone through today, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about some exciting news that I have coming up. So today we are talking about why collecting more play therapy activities can be keeping you stuck if that's your focus, just going online and researching, spending hours online, hours on YouTube, hours on Pinterest, hours on in Amazon trying to figure out the perfect book that you need. That can actually keep you stuck, because that's not what creates the breakthrough. And so what ends up happening is you go through that endless loop of trying to figure out what kind of activities, when what really is the issue is you haven't learned really how to ground those interventions. You haven't figured out what's actually going on with your client, and you haven't figured out, like, how does my play therapy model conceptualize what this problem is Why is it happening? And then what do I need to do with this specific situation? And so that's why it doesn't really work, because the focus is on the activity. And then what ends up happening, it's a lot like throwing spaghetti against the wall, trying to figure out what activity to use. And then you end up getting lost and feeling stuck and not knowing what to do. And this is really where having a community of support can be beneficial, because you can take all of those activities, or what you've learned in trainings or what you've read in your play therapy books. You can actually get support learning how to apply that information in different situations. And when you have challenging clients, you can actually access that support to help you figure out what to do. And I have seen this over and over and over and over and over again. Ask anybody in Play Therapy Academy, or now my new program that I have a beta version of it now, so it's getting ready to officially launch, but we do have people in there now, and they would tell you the same thing. And that is having the community of support, having that place where you can feel like you don't have to pretend, that you can go in there and be honest about your struggle and know that you're not going to get judged. And what you're going to get is a ton of support, where people who get it, who understand play therapy, will tell you, you know what, I totally struggle with that too. Or, you know what, I I feel ya. I get it. Lots of support. Hang in there. You're doing a great job. And then we go through and we figure out what is actually going on. We use that case conceptualization. We use that play therapy theoretical lens to figure out what the problem is and why is it happening. And then we come up with strategies, or we figure out how are you going to apply your play therapy model. Even if you're using an integrated model, you're still using theoretical models. So what does your theory say that needs to happen, and how are you going to do that? Once you have all of that, then you can plug in the activities. But where people get stuck, and include all of us get stuck, I get stuck, is when we maybe don't see the bigger picture of it, or maybe we're not really using that clinical case conceptualization to understand what the problem is, that's based on our play therapy model, because our play therapy model is going to then help us know what to do. It's also going to help you figure out, where are you in the change process, and what stage of play therapy are you in, because you might use a different play therapy activity in stage 2 versus stage 3. Or maybe you are in stage 3, but something happened with your client and now they've regressed to stage 2. Does that mean play therapy isn't working? Well, if you have a community of support of people who understand play therapy, then they can help you figure out what happened and how to help your client move forward again. Doing it alone doesn't really work. I remember in the very beginning, especially, I struggled. I had gotten my play therapy supervision to become a registered play therapist, but then I had nothing. I had nobody until I found a community of support. And that made a huge difference. But what I found is, we don't really focus on that. We don't really have a lot of that. And how do I know that? I know that because I hear from people all the time. That they don't have a place, that they might be the only one, or maybe they're in a practice, but they don't really feel like in that specific practice where they use a lot of different kind of expressive arts, maybe they have a specific way of doing it and that's the only way they do it, but that doesn't work for you and you feel like that's not working for your clients. So you need another place to be able to go and get that support. And to me, that is the benefit of being in a community. And I feel like when people say, oh, I don't have the time to go to one more thing, I'm so jam packed, or oh, I don't want to pay all of that money. How much time are you spending spinning your wheels on the internet searching things? Or how much money are you spending on books and trainings, but then don't feel like you're getting any traction because you're not really sure how to pull it all together in the sessions, or you have really challenging clients and you're not sure how to apply that? How much time and money do you spend doing that versus you have a place where you know you are going to get support? You can pop in there, or you can show up for an hour and a half at a meeting and leave with tons of ideas and activities, also feeling refreshed and feeling like you're not alone, and you're you're not feeling burned out anymore. You're feeling rejuvenated, like you keep going. So that's the reason I created Play Therapy Elevation Circle. So if you're interested, Play Therapy Elevation Circle is my brand new program. I launched the beta version back in March. I am getting ready to officially open the doors to Play Therapy Academy. Play Therapy Elevation Circle. So it's different. Play Therapy Elevation Circle is different than Play Therapy Academy. Play Therapy Academy is very small. It's very hands-on. There are courses in there. It's really geared to help you. It was created to help you if you are interested in pursuing your registered play therapy credential. Not everybody in Play Therapy Academy is pursuing their RPT credential, but they want really, really high hands-on. But what I found over the last 3 or 4 years is that not everybody needs that level. And so I noticed there was like this gap in our community, then a huge need still to have support, but they don't, for those people, don't necessarily need all of the bells and whistles of Play Therapy Academy, but what they need is support. And so Play Therapy Elevation Circle was designed for you. If that is you, Play Therapy Elevation Circle was designed for you. We meet once a month for 90 minutes, usually longer, because we start getting nerdy and we start talking about things. But 90 minutes once a month, case consultation. If you're struggling with a hard case, we use the support of the group to help you figure that out. Or maybe you're not sure what to do, or maybe you're feeling like you're lost and throwing spaghetti against the wall with all of your activities and nothing is making a difference. That we have a once a month consultation where we will help you do your case conceptualization to figure out what is going on and why is it happening, and then how are you using a play therapy model to get traction for that breakthrough for your clients, because your play therapy model is going to have stages, and each stage is going to help you know what needs to happen in that stage. What is your role? What is the client's role? What if your model allows for activities? Is it child-led, or is it therapist-led, or is it both? Helps you figure out what to do in the different stages of the play therapy process. You're going to get access to that community support. There are some not free, but there are some resources in there, some guides, some workbooks, some videos in there. And then I am adding a brand new element to Play Therapy Elevation Circle. And this one is not something I have done before, but it is something that I have wanted to do. I just could not figure out the logistics of how to get it done because, we have the CEs and all of those kinds of things. In Play Therapy Elevation Circle, we're not worrying about CEs and we're not worrying about meeting criteria for any kind of credentialing. It's where you can come and get support. So we're kind of releasing the chains of all of those things. And we have our monthly meeting for case consultation, and I am adding a monthly book club. So that is the brand new feature to Play Therapy Elevation Circle. I am so excited about that one. So we're going to take a play therapy book and it'll be a separate meeting. So we'll have the consultation meeting, and then we'll also have the monthly book club meeting where we will go through and discuss a play therapy book so that as a community, we'll get different insights. And the goal also would be like, how do I take this information and apply it to the play therapy work that I'm doing? And so I'm super excited about that one. And there's also some other thing, like the other resources in there. There's a community group feature in there so that in between meetings, you'll get some support, you post ideas, resources in there. So if you are interested in joining a community, if you have been feeling lost and like you are isolated on an island by yourself, the only play therapist around, and you have been looking for a place to get support, to get ideas, to know how to get some breakthrough with their challenging cases, you don't have to do it alone anymore. And that to me is the reason I created Play Therapy Elevation Circle, is so that you feel like you don't have to do it anymore by yourself. There is a place to go to get that support. And the thing about Play Therapy Elevation Circle is really keeping it affordable. So I'm getting ready to launch Play Therapy Elevation Circle next month. If you're interested, or maybe you just want more more information about it, or to know, sign up for my wait list. You'll be first to know when it launches. You'll get some more information about Elevation Circle. You can ask questions. And so sign up. There's no obligation. You can sign up for the wait list so that you get more information. To sign up for the wait list, you'll want to pop over to my website at rhplaytherapytraining.com. That's Renewing Hearts Playtherapytraining.com. On the homepage, you'll see a place where you can sign up for Play Therapy Elevation wait list. There's no obligation, just gives you information and lets you know when registration is open. Registration is only going to be open for a short period of time. So if you want to be notified so you don't miss it and find out more about it, then you definitely want to get on that wait list so you don't miss out. So pop over to my website at rhplaytherapytraining.com. That's Renewing Hearts Playtherapytraining.com, and sign up for the wait list for Play Therapy Elevation Circle. We'll also post some links in the comments. So if you're on Instagram, you can click on my bio and it'll take you over there, or we'll post a link in the comments. If you're on LinkedIn, or in my Facebook group, we're going to post some links in the comments. Feel free to message me if you have questions. For those of you watching on YouTube, pop over to my website and feel free to message me if you have questions. So that is it for today, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.